Ev to Phil, September 10th, 1941. My angel, got your card this morning. I don't mind receiving a card, just so I hear from you. I hope the cash and stamps meet with your needs. I thought you were on a 3-day maneuver and I wouldn't hear from you. It's a pity, baby, that I could not help you lug the 22-pound BAR. Last night was different in that I met a girl who is 17, has been married 4 months, lives 2 doors away, and she and her 21-year-old husband have bought a McClatchy home near our section. They expect to move out there in November. In the meantime, they are living with his folks. She invited a few of the girls from the neighborhood to spend the evening at her place, so that's where I'll be this evening. The neighbors were slightly shocked last night, page 2, when they learned that Harriet Greitzer's 17-year-old girlfriend, Edith, who I think has no sense whatsoever, is going to be married October 25th. The cry of the evening was, quote, "If Edith can get married, anyone can," end quote. I asked Edith if her husband-to-be, he's 25 or 26, had received his questionnaire. It appears he hasn't, and they are getting married to avoid the draft. It just shows to go you what some guys will do to stay out of the Army. I spent the early part of the evening with Irma, Rita's sister. That's how I met the other girl, Dorothy by name. But then Irma received a call from a fellow she'd been dying to see for weeks and went off to dress. I went over to Dorothy's porch. Mom came also, where all the ladies were playing mahjong. Mom and I watched the game in an effort to learn how it is played. It's just like cards. You have to get pairs like in rummy. I think you would like the game. Page 3. Irma incidentally received a letter from a fellow who is on maneuvers in Louisiana. He writes that it is the hellhole of the U.S., and daily maneuvers make it simply unbearable. He says the guys are so restless and irritable that they are always fighting. They are miles away from any sign of real civilization and are driven about 30 miles each week so they can change their clothes and take a shower and send their mail. Sounds like a living hell. I hope, sweet, that you are released before you ever reach there. I couldn't bear knowing what you were going through. My mother called this morning. I'm going out to her place early tomorrow morning and help her prepare for her demonstration. My grandmother had a heart attack while walking in the street and was brought, page 4, home by passers-by. My mother was up with her until 4 o'clock in the morning, but she's okay today. My mother was scared stiff. She thought my bubby was going to die. I was a little panicky all day because the, quote, red flag, end quote, didn't show up until supper time. Boy, was I glad. It's another one of those killer-diller hot days. I hadn't much ambition for anything all day, so I sewed. I fixed my gray print, and it looks very pretty. I also fixed a few other things. My complexion has practically cleared up. Ethel received a letter from Limey, and he is going to be a cook of all things. Everyone is fine and sends their love. And last but not least, I adore you, my darling husband, Evelyn.